Hello everyone, and I'm moving, so it's kind of an entertaining day, uh, an entertaining way, and an entertaining day. So I'm really grateful to be with you and to be here together today. And um, I'm thinking today. I asked um, one of my colleagues or team members in my office about what I should share about tonight and what they thought would be good to share about. And it was Inga, and Inga said rebirth. Rebirth would be something wonderful to share about. And so I always like to thank the spirits of land and place, and I like to say thank you, great and beautiful mystery, for our lives, for the miracle you've given us of our lives, and the miracle of being able to support others through the life, death, life cycle that we're all in together. And I give thanks to you for all that you've given us and for the many blessings that we've received and the many blessings that we have to offer. Thank you so much for being with us, Creator, in this talk and always. Aho, amen. Um, and so, as I was thinking about this, I also was thinking about this really great book called Emergent Strategy by Adrienne Marie Brown. It's a really powerful, potent book. And one of the things we have to do is, in order to be reborn, something has to go, something has to die, something has to be like left behind, or there's parts of ourselves or aspects of ourselves that we need to let go of. There's also perhaps experiences or habits or patterns that we have to let go of. And so, I like to ask myself, like, what patterns am I releasing, or what things am I letting go of in order to be reborn, or to have a rebirth experience, or to go through this rebirth. Well, one of them is the process of letting go, and when we let go, we grieve. And there's so much that we're letting go of right now. And so I was looking at this in her book. She has a section on the spell for grief, or letting go. The spell for grief, or letting go. And her writing is so delicious. And I'm so grateful for her gifts. But it says, adequate tears twisting up directly from the heart, wrung out across the vocal cords. I'll start over again. Adequate tears twisting up directly from the heart and wrung out across the vocal cords until only a gasp remains. At least an hour a day spent staring at the truth in numb silence, a teacup of whiskey held in both hands, held still under the whispers of permission from friends who can see right through okay and fine. An absence of theory, flight as necessary, poetry, your own and others, on precipice, abandonment, nature, and death. Courage to say what has happened, however strangling the words are, and space to not say a word. A brief dance with sugar to honor the legacies of coping that got you this far. Sentences spoken with total pragmatism that provide clear guidance of some direction to move in, full of the tender care and balance of choice and not having to choose. Screaming why and or expressing fury at the stupid, unfair fucking game of it all. This may include hours and hours, even lifetimes of lost faith. Laughter, undeniable, unpretended, a walk in the world, all that gravity with breath and heartbeat in your ears, fire for all that can be written, moonlight, the more full, the more nourishing. Stories, ideally of coincidence and heartache in the sweetest tiny moments. Time, more time, and then more time, enough time to remember every moment you had with that one now taken from you, and to forget to think of it every moment. And just a glimpse of tomorrow, either in the face of an innocent or the realization of a dream. This is a nonlinear spell. Cast it inside your heart. Cast it between yourself and any devil. Cast it inside your heart. Cast it between yourself and any devil. Cast it into the parts of you still living. Remember, you are water. Of course, you leave salt trails. Of course you are crying. Flow. P.S. If there happens to be a multitude of griefs upon you, individual and collective, or fast and slow, or small and large, add equal parts of these considerations. And she goes into the considerations that, I do think about the, all of the griefs that we are holding, that we are carrying, that we are witnessing, that we are a part of, that we have been a part of, and I think about, the best way to let go of these things is to allow the body to do what it does, to, allow ourselves to let go. Tears are part of the body's way of letting go. And so that's something that we can do, is we can water our grief with our tears. And so the considerations that she's talking about are that the broken heart can cover more territory, that perhaps love can only be as large as the grief demands, that grief is the growing up of the heart that bursts boundaries like an old skin or a finished life, that grief is gratitude, that water seeks scale, that even your tears seek the recognition of community, that the heart is a front line and the fight is to feel in the world of distraction. I love this one. That the heart is a front line and the fight is to feel in a world of distraction. That death might be the only freedom. That your grief is a worthwhile use of your time. I love that. That your grief is a worthwhile use of your time. That your body will feel only as much as it is able to. That the ones you grieve may be grieving you. That the sacred comes from the limitations. That you are excellent at loving, that you are excellent at loving. And this comes from pages 108, 109, and 110 from Emergent Strategy by Adrienne Marie Brown, Shaping Change, Changing Worlds. And so I really appreciated that. And I appreciated her thoughts on grief and on growth. And I appreciated especially the fact that she says, the last line is, you are excellent at loving. And so how can you, what can you, where can you love? Where can you express and experience your love? And we're all in different transitions in our lives. And I think that it is important that we are able to recognize, where we are in transition and how we are transitioning at this time. So, where am I transitioning? How am I transitioning? And if we think of how we are transitioning from one place to another place, from that which is dying to that which is being born, from maybe one place to another place, maybe from one job to a jobless state, or from a jobless state to a new job, or, so many changes. It's like we're all shedding old skins that we've needed to shed for a very long time. And so I think it's important to think about this, that we can think about, oh, something is dying, but then what is being born out of the ashes? Something is always being born out of the ashes. And sometimes we're not in the ashes. Sometimes we're like, oh my gosh, we're like in the blessing and in like a renewal experience. But right now, as we think about how we're about to settle into this fall time, we are about to look at, what harvest really teaches us, which is about letting go, and also it teaches us to extend our gratitude and deep thanks for the harvest that we may be receiving. And so, can I give thanks for the harvest and then let go, like all of these plants are doing, and then how can I extend my thanks and my gratitude for all that I've harvested, whether that's from people in my life or situations in my life, and do I really live in a state of gratitude? Am I able to live in a state of gratitude for what I do have, and for the life, the health, and the well-being that I do have, and the people that are really looking out for me and that are caring for me and loving me? And do they know how grateful I am? Do they know that I am that I'm filled with feeling and positive thoughts and gratitude for their presence in my life? And there's this little saying that says, unspoken gratitude doesn't do anyone any good. And so I'm grateful for you. And I hope that this is something that has been helpful to you. So let's think about our letting go, and what it is that we're grieving and letting go, and then what is it that we're stepping into and what kind of transitions are we in? We're all in transitions right now. I don't know anyone who isn't in some kind of transition or life change. And so, how can we open to real life? How can we open to the next indicated step? Have a beautiful evening, and I'll see you next week. And I'll be in a new place, so that'll be fun. Yeah. As you can see, everything is woo, it's quiet right here. So, speaking of transitions, so walk in beauty, and I'll talk soon. Bye bye.